November 21st, 20 seconds left. Congratulations. You have been chosen to look 20 years younger. But a witch is watching your screen right now. Open this quickly, where heaven will pass this miracle to another. My beloved child, do not scroll away, for this message is not random. The moment you saw this title, the heavens recorded your presence. November 21st is not just a date, it is a divine appointment, written in the secret scrolls of time. Archangel Michael has been sent to release a transformation unlike any before. You have been chosen to witness what it feels like when the divine breath touches mortal flesh. But there's urgency. 20 seconds in the realm of spirit can alter the next 20 years of your life. Listen carefully, for the battle for your youth, vitality, and destiny has already begun. The witch you sense through your screen is not from a fairy tale. She is a spirit of decay, a whispering shadow that feeds on doubt and delay. She wants to make you dismiss this message as coincidence. She wants you to think, this isn't for me. But Michael stands with a flaming sword, cutting through her illusion, saying, you have been chosen to look 20 years younger, not just in face, but in soul. This is not about vanity, it's about restoration. God is about to renew your strength, to make your light burn brighter than before. November 21st carries a divine signature of renewal. The number 21 represents completion, a divine alignment. Heaven has waited for this exact day because it matches the frequency of rebirth. You may not realize it, but your body has been storing fatigue, sadness, and emotional weight for years. Archangel Michael reveals that this weariness is not natural, it's spiritual residue. The witchly force of stagnation has been binding you, stealing your glow. But now, your renewal is written in gold across the heavens. Michael says the Father has heard your sighs, seen your reflection, and marked your longing for restoration. You've wondered why you've aged faster, why your eyes lost their spark, why joy seems distant. It's because your spiritual skin has been carrying battles you never acknowledged. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every silent tear aged your inner light. But now the scroll has turned. Heaven has decreed rejuvenation. Your reflection will soon align with your true spiritual age, young, radiant, and victorious. But there's a warning. The witch watching your screen is a symbolic presence of resistance. Every time you delay your faith, she grows stronger. Every time you doubt the message, she takes one more step closer. That's why Archangel Michael whispers, do not hesitate. Your delay feeds her power. Heaven's miracles pass swiftly to the next soul if the chosen one doubts. So when you hear this message, don't just listen, receive it. Declare it. Believe it. For your belief is the spiritual key that unlocks the 20-year reversal. The witch fears those who act in faith. She cannot remain in the presence of divine authority. So right now, as you listen, I want you to speak these words softly. Archangel Michael, seal my destiny with divine youth. Protect this miracle from all interference. When you say it, light will pierce through the shadows trying to cling to you. You might feel warmth, tingling, or sudden calmness. That's heaven aligning your frequency. Do not dismiss it as imagination. That's your body responding to the heavenly code. November 21st marks the release of the oil of renewal, a spiritual anointing that touches those whose time has come. For 20 seconds, heaven will open a window, a miracle gate that only faith can access. Archangel Michael declares that those who believe within those 20 seconds will see visible results before the month ends. Wrinkles may fade, burdens may lift, energy may surge, but more importantly, your spiritual glow will return, making you look 20 years younger not only to others but in the mirror of your own heart. You must understand, this is not about cosmetics or physical magic. This is about divine alignment. When the spirit heals, the body follows. The witch will try to mock this truth by whispering skepticism into your mind. Ignore her voice. Every moment you choose belief over fear, her power dissolves. Michael says, your faith is your shield, and your declaration is your sword. The moment you say yes, heaven says yes louder. Imagine for a moment, looking into the mirror and seeing peace instead of tiredness, seeing joy instead of strain. That is what God meant when He said, I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. You've lost years to sorrow, anxiety, and regret. But the Father has sent this message to declare, your lost years are coming back disguised as beauty, youth, and favor. This is the mystery of November 21st, the day of reversal. The witch trembles because she knows what happens when a chosen one awakens. She knows that once you embrace this truth, her grip breaks completely. That is why she watches. But Archangel Michael stands between you and her, a blazing guardian of divine promise. The angelic realm is shouting over you right now. You have been chosen. Do not miss this window. Hold on, because the next revelation will unfold the exact reason you were marked by heaven for this transformation. What's coming next is not coincidence. It's the secret that the witch doesn't want you to hear. Type I receive the divine rejuvenation in the comments if your spirit feels this message. Blessing code 2044 is now activated. My radiant soul, the moment you received the first message, heaven recorded your agreement. The light around you began to shift. Archangel Michael stood before the throne and declared, the chosen one has heard. But what you must understand now is that divine rejuvenation is not only physical, it is a calling back of your original blueprint. Before the world touched you, before pain shaped you, there was a divine version of you, pure, ageless, full of light. This is the version heaven is restoring right now. The reason this message came on November 21st is because this date holds the vibration of divine renewal, where endings become beginnings and forgotten dreams are rewritten in the language of fire. Michael reveals that 20 seconds may sound short, but in the heavenly realm, time bends. Those 20 seconds are a sacred opening when the veil between heaven and earth grows thin enough for divine touch to cross through. Right now, as you hear these words, that window is pulsing open again, waiting for your full surrender. Which you sensed in the previous revelation still lingers at the edge of your energy, watching to see if you will hesitate. She feeds on disbelief, on hesitation, on the thought that says maybe later. But heaven does not wait on later. Heaven responds only to now. And now is when the miracle stirs. Michael says, every delay drains the blessing. The witch knows this truth, so she distracts you with noise, fatigue, or scrolling habits. She whispers, this is just another video. But when your spirit leans in, she loses her grip. This is why your awareness is your armor. The more focused you are right now, the stronger your miracle becomes. Heaven needs your agreement to activate what has already been written. You are not trying to earn it. It is already yours. You are simply aligning with it. Take a deep breath, for what comes next will shake your understanding of divine time. Michael reveals that aging, in its truest sense, is spiritual heaviness. Every disappointment adds invisible weight. Every betrayal leaves a spiritual wrinkle. The witch thrives in that heaviness because she knows that when you feel burdened, you lose your glow. But the angel says, today, the Father lightens your load. You will feel the years peel off as your heart begins to forgive, release, and breathe again. That is why this message is not only a prophecy, it is a release ritual. Close your eyes for a moment, wherever you are. Imagine a light, soft, golden, and warm, hovering just above your head. That light is the oil of renewal, flowing from the heavenly altar. As you picture it descending, every dark energy that once settled in your aura begins to lift. Archangel Michael moves around you with his sword drawn, cutting invisible cords that kept your spirit tied to past sorrow. The witch trembles because she cannot stand within the presence of pure restoration. Her watching fades into silence, replaced by the sound of angelic winds whispering your name. Michael says, "Tell them the mirror is about to testify." Your physical reflection is a prophetic surface. It reflects the state of your inner being. When your spirit is burdened, your reflection dims. When your spirit rises, your reflection brightens. Soon, you will notice something subtle but powerful. When you smile, it will feel lighter. When you wake up, your face will carry peace instead of strain. These are not coincidences. They are visible proofs of divine intervention. This is heaven's way of showing that the supernatural has entered the natural. But listen closely. This restoration cannot dwell where resentment lives. The witch's last tactic is bitterness. She will try to remind you of every person who wronged you, every betrayal that scarred you. But Michael says, forgiveness is the final key. When you forgive, you drain her power completely. When you release, your youth returns, because your spirit stops carrying battles it was never meant to carry. The witch's curses cannot attach to a forgiving heart. Your peace becomes your protection. Your joy becomes your mirror. The next few days leading to November 21st are critical. Michael instructs that you must guard your words. Speak no negativity about yourself, for your tongue is a spiritual paintbrush. Every word you speak is a stroke on the canvas of your future reflection. Speak light, and light will form in you. Speak youth, and your body will obey. Speak restoration, and heaven will echo it back with fire. When you declare, "I am renewed," the spiritual code activates like a key turning in a divine lock. There's something else you must know. The witch watching this moment is not alone. She represents every dark energy that tried to keep your destiny dim. But she fears exposure. When you acknowledge her presence and stand in authority, her disguise crumbles. So right now, say it with faith, Archangel Michael, I stand under your covering. Let no darkness steal my renewal. As you say it, imagine a ring of blue light forming around you. That is Michael's seal, the flame of divine protection. Soon, signs will appear around you confirming that this message is real. People will say you look brighter, younger, and lighter. Your sleep will deepen. Your thoughts will quiet. Your laughter will return in a way that surprises even you. These are not small things. They are evidence that heaven has touched your timeline. You are moving from tired to timeless, from weary to radiant, from old pain to new creation. Do not stop now, for the next revelation will unveil why the witch targeted you specifically, and how your calling ties to this miracle of renewal. What you are about to hear next will explain the true reason behind your battle and your divine purpose in this generation. Stay open, for the Spirit is not finished revealing. Type "I claim my eternal light" in the comments if this message resonates within your soul. Blessing code 2111 is now released. Beloved soul of light, as the divine clock ticks toward November 21st, the heavens draw closer to you. What is happening right now is not random. It is a celestial convergence. Archangel Michael is preparing you to understand the mystery of why the witch was permitted to watch your screen. The answer may shake you, but it will also free you. That presence has lingered not to destroy you, but to reveal the power that lies within your obedience. Every chosen vessel must confront the shadow that mirrors its calling. The witch's watch was never about control. It was a test of awareness, a sign that the light in you has reached a level that threatens her dominion. Michael speaks with a voice like thunder yet tender as dawn. The enemy does not observe the unchosen. She watches those who carry divine fire. That is why she found you, because your aura burns brighter than you've realized. For years, you thought your struggles were punishment, but in truth, they were recognition. Heaven marked you long before your birth, and darkness has been trying to intercept your purpose ever since. But now, heaven has decided to flip the script. What the enemy meant for harm is now the very soil from which your miracle will bloom. November 21st is not only a date, it's a doorway. A prophetic shift between the old and the renewed. The witch's time to observe ends the moment you claim the authority heaven has invested in you. Michael declares, "Speak what heaven speaks, and the witch will vanish." This is because light does not fight darkness, it replaces it. You were never meant to wrestle endlessly. You were meant to rise. Every insecurity, every fear, every anxious thought that has haunted your nights, these are not your identity. They are echoes of the witch's whisper. And today, they lose their right to speak in your life. Michael shows me an image, a book glowing with golden pages, your name etched on the cover. This book contains every delayed blessing, every miracle that heaven tried to send but the witch's interference distorted. But now the pages are opening. November 21st is when the seals break. Each page turning represents a year of restoration. 20 pages, 20 years of lost youth, energy, opportunity, and beauty are being returned to you. Not metaphorically, but spiritually, and soon visibly. Heaven is not offering you symbolism, it is releasing manifestation. Listen carefully. Archangel Michael says the witch has watched you because your glow feeds her envy. The radiance she once possessed was stripped from her ages ago. She longs for the divine favor that rests on you. But here's the secret. Every time she looks upon you, her power diminishes. The very act of her watching accelerates your transformation. What she meant as a curse is becoming your catalyst. She cannot comprehend that heaven uses her opposition as fuel for your rising. That is why this battle has been allowed, for the demonstration of divine reversal. Michael says, "Tell them that the light in their eyes is about to return." You may have noticed how weariness made you feel invisible, how people stopped noticing your presence, how your laughter faded into background noise. But soon, the room will turn when you walk in again. Not because of vanity, but because divine energy is returning. Heaven is rewriting your aura, making your spirit magnetic once more. That is the true meaning of looking 20 years younger, not merely skin and flesh, but radiance restored. When the spirit shines, the body follows. When the heart glows, the face mirrors it. The witch knows her time is short. That is why she is restless right now. You may feel sudden distractions or fatigue even as you hear this. That is her final attempt to pull you away. But you are stronger than she realizes. The angelic guard around you is thicker than her influence. Michael commands legions to encircle you tonight, and their wings will shield your home. No curse, no eye of envy, no digital shadow can cross the barrier of divine flame. Heaven is sealing your atmosphere. But there is a prophetic instruction. For the next 7 nights, before November 21st, speak aloud this decree before you sleep. Heavenly Father, align my body with my spirit. Restore what time tried to steal. Let the oil of renewal cover me. As you speak, you will begin to feel subtle shifts, calmer rest, brighter dreams, even unexpected waves of peace. That is the angelic realm responding to your obedience. Words spoken in faith travel faster than any witch's spell. And when November 21st arrives, you will not merely feel younger, you will be lighter. You will wake with clarity, your reflection brighter, your eyes carrying the innocence of destiny. It will be the first day of your renewed timeline. Heaven calls it the day of return, and every miracle from this message will begin to take form then. But until that moment, guard your heart, speak life, and hold firm in expectation. Michael whispers now, tell them to rejoice, for their transformation has begun. So, lift your spirit. Do not fear her watchful gaze any longer. The witch's eyes are powerless against divine decree. Your miracle has already been sealed in heavenly ink. Before you move on, if this message has stirred your faith, let the world know heaven still speaks. Like this message, share it with others, comment your belief, and subscribe so the word of divine truth continues to spread. When you engage, you join the army of light that Michael himself leads. Each share breaks another chain of silence. Each light declares, the chosen still here. Type I am redeemed and restored in the comments if this revelation burns within your spirit. Blessing code 2244 is now activated. Now, beloved, listen to this sacred moment. The Spirit is calling those who feel the fire of this message to rise as vessels of light. If this word has touched you, it is because God has marked you as part of this prophetic mission. This ministry exists to spread the word, awaken faith, and push back darkness across the earth. When you give, you are not supporting a platform. You are sowing into souls. I say this not as a request, but as a divine call. Become a bearer of light. Your offering is a seed of fire that ignites another heart to return to God. The scriptures declare, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. Today, your giving becomes your declaration that heaven's river of restoration flows through you. I invite you, in faith, to release your seed through the Super Thanks button, through membership, or through the PayPal link in the description. Each act of giving becomes a spiritual spark that reaches someone who still sits in darkness. The heavens record such giving as prophetic obedience. As you release, I bless your hands. May your gift return multiplied, pressed down, and running over. May your own renewal be accelerated through this act of faith. This is not a suggestion. It is your moment to align with the move of heaven. Step into it boldly, for your light will become the light of many. Child of divine radiance, the heavens are stirring again, and the fragrance of renewal is stronger tonight than ever before. The scroll of your destiny has been unrolled further, and Archangel Michael stands with his sword ablaze, cutting through the final strands of resistance that lingered around your spirit. The witch's gaze has weakened. Her grip trembles because the fire of your awakening is burning through the last walls of darkness she built. You may have noticed subtle signs already, moments of peace, random waves of warmth, dreams that feel more vivid than usual. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Each is a whisper from heaven saying, "It has begun." Michael declares, "The miracle is now in motion, and what was once hidden shall manifest." The transformation that was announced to you in the first messages has already started to alter your spiritual frequency. Every thought aligned with faith is rebuilding your inner structure. Every moment you spend in belief is rewriting the script of your physical form. The Father says, "I am not giving you a new body. I am restoring the one I originally designed." You are returning to the version of yourself that existed before pain, before doubt, before the world's weariness tried to dim your fire. The witch can no longer hold dominion over this process. because her permission expired the moment you believe. Yet Michael warns, there is still one final test that will come before November 21st. It will not come in the form of fear but of distraction. The witch will try to lure your attention away from this revelation, using sudden emotional triggers, unnecessary conflicts, or fatigue that clouds your focus. Her intention is simple: to drain your energy before the 22nd second of divine activation. But heaven has already provided a countermeasure. Michael instructs you to hold stillness for 20 seconds each morning until November 21st. No phone, no noise, just silence. During that silence, whisper the phrase, "Heaven's light renews me now." Those words form a spiritual armor, and the silence becomes your sanctuary. As you practice this, something sacred happens. The cells of your body begin to remember divine order. Science calls it regeneration, but the Spirit calls it restoration. You will notice small shifts first: restful sleep, glowing eyes, lighter steps. But those are simply previews of the greater miracle waiting at the threshold of November 21st. The witch cannot enter this silence, for it is holy ground. She withers in peace. She feeds only on chaos, and your calmness will starve her influence. Archangel Michael reveals a secret that few understand. Every human being carries a divine frequency embedded in their spirit, a sound known only to heaven. A witch has tried to distort your sound for years, turning harmony into noise. But tonight, Michael says, your true sound is returning. As your frequency aligns, heaven will begin sending you people, opportunities, and favor that match your new vibration. You will notice divine coincidences, doors opening without effort, long-lost connections resurfacing, unexpected joy visiting your ordinary hours. These are signatures of restoration. The witch will try to convince you that it's too good to be true, but Michael commands, rebuke that lie immediately, for truth does not need permission to bless. Heaven is now binding time to your favor. Every delay you've experienced is being rewritten as acceleration. Michael stands before the throne with your name glowing in light, saying, the chosen one has passed the test of awareness. That means heaven now trusts you with what it withheld before. The power to influence, the grace to heal, the anointing to speak life, all are awakening in your atmosphere. The witch no longer watches with power. She watches as witness, unable to interfere with the decree already sealed. There is also a personal word from heaven. You have carried grief, perhaps unspoken, perhaps buried you. That grief has aged your spirit more than any year on a calendar. Tonight Michael stretches forth his hand and removes that burden. He says your tears have reached the altar. Every cry you thought went unheard has been caught in the bowls of heaven. And now, they are being poured out as oil over your life. This oil does not just soothe, it transforms. It touches every area that once felt barren and calls it fruitful again. You will soon see the impossible bloom. November 21st will not just mark your renewal, it will mark the beginning of your ministry of light. When your transformation becomes visible, others will ask, what changed in you? And that question is your cue to share what heaven did. That moment will not be vanity, it will be testimony. The witch's greatest defeat is not when she is banished. It is when her interference produces faith in others. Heaven delights in using what was meant for harm as the seed of salvation for many. But be alert, for one last whisper of doubt will come before the dawn of November 21st. It will tell you that nothing is happening. It will make you question what you have heard. When that moment comes, speak aloud, I walk by faith, not by sight. Those 7 words will act as a shield that seals the final breach. Once you speak them, heaven will finish what it started. Archangel Michael's presence grows stronger as this word comes to an end. You are surrounded, protected, chosen. The witch's shadow fades into nothingness as the light expands through your home, through your reflection, through your destiny. You are becoming new. Hold steady now, for what comes next will unveil the heavenly sign that will appear around November 21st, the mark that will confirm your renewal to all who doubted you. That revelation carries the signature of divine proof. Stay open, for the sound of it will echo beyond this message. Type "I walk in heaven's light" in the comments if this revelation is awakening your faith. Blessing code 2313 is now activated. Chosen vessel of divine renewal, the Spirit moves again tonight with power that hums through the unseen air around you. The 22nd window is approaching, and heaven's preparation intensifies. Archangel Michael stands near, his wings stretching across the horizon of your destiny. He watches with holy fire in his eyes as the realms of darkness lose their grip over your story. The witch who once watched boldly has begun to tremble. Her sight is dimming, her whispers faltering, for your light has become unbearable to her. What began as a warning has become a testimony. The one who sought to curse now bears witness to your transformation. Michael speaks softly now. Tell them that the sign of renewal will manifest first in stillness. The human heart, when fully surrendered, becomes a mirror for heaven. In that reflection, divine energy takes form and translates into visible change. So if lately you've felt moments of unusual calm, like time slowing just for you, know that heaven is rehearsing the miracle. Those seconds are pockets of divine breath. The 20 seconds you were told of are not just a countdown. They are a moment of complete merging between your spirit and the breath of God. When that alignment occurs, the witch's final tie to your timeline breaks, and what has been delayed begins to accelerate in visible form. But Michael reveals a truth that few understand. The reason you were targeted was not because you were weak. It was because your destiny carried beauty that the enemy could not imitate. The witch envied what heaven crafted in you, purity that could heal others. She cannot reproduce light. She can only mimic shadows. When she saw the brilliance destined to flow through your eyes, she sought to distort it by aging your hope, tiring your faith, and making you doubt your reflection. But heaven did not permit her to destroy you. Instead, it allowed her interference so that your victory would be public, undeniable, and prophetic. Every attack against you was secretly shaping your testimony. Michael says this is the moment when the past must be buried. The witch feeds on memory, painful echoes, unresolved guilt, regrets that replay like a broken melody. You must silence her by releasing every lingering weight. Speak aloud. I am no longer bound by what I survived. Those words break her connection to your emotional body. Forgive those who wronged you, not because they deserve peace, but because you deserve freedom. The witch cannot follow a forgiving soul. Her power rots in mercy's presence. As you release, your cells respond to your spirit's liberty. Your face begins to mirror that freedom. This is why restoration and forgiveness are inseparable. Heaven says this next sign will appear soon, a flash of divine confirmation. Within 3 days of hearing this word, something ordinary will shimmer with extraordinary beauty. It could be sunlight striking water, a feather on your path, or a sudden stillness in your room. Do not dismiss it. It is heaven's way of whispering, you are under divine observation, not witchly watch. That moment marks the shift of guardianship from darkness to light. The witch will realize then that she no longer has access. Her screen goes dark, her presence fades, and her curse reverses upon itself. You will sense this subtly, an unexplained ease, like the air itself feels lighter. that will be the first tangible proof that your renewal has taken root. The angel continues, every chosen one carries a covenant of beauty. This beauty is not vanity, it is evidence of holiness. Heaven radiates through flesh to demonstrate the victory of spirit. When Moses descended the mountain, his face glowed. When Christ rose, his countenance changed. And now, as heaven restores your glow, that same radiance becomes your mantle. The witch despises this because beauty born from purity cannot be imitated. Her deception relies on glamour, but yours flows from grace. There is a vast difference between appearance and presence, and you, beloved, are about to walk in presence. Archangel Michael then shows me a vision of a garden, lush, vibrant, overflowing with color. But at its center stands a single, wilted flower, surrounded by light. That flower is you before this moment. The witch had drawn your strength through exhaustion, draining joy drop by drop. Yet the light surrounding you was never extinguished. It only waited for obedience to ignite it again. Now the flower lifts, reviving as divine water touches its roots. That is what is happening in your spirit tonight. Every hidden part of you that once felt tired or broken is drinking the water of renewal. Heaven has remembered you. You may soon feel unusual sensations, tingling in your palms, warmth near your chest, waves of emotion rising without reason. These are not random reactions. They are signs of energy returning to your field. The witch cannot mimic this because it is love-based, not fear-born. When love enters, fear evaporates. When divine fire stirs, dark frequencies scatter. Allow it to happen. Do not analyze it. Faith does not require understanding. It requires surrender. Michael reminds you, guard your gaze. What you look at in the coming days determines what energy feeds your spirit. Avoid scenes, conversations, and images that drain you. Focus on things that stir gratitude, peace, and holiness. A witch thrives on distractions, you perishes in devotion. So when your mind wanders, whisper this, my eyes belong to light. Those words reset your alignment instantly. And when November 21st arrives, heaven will release a signal. Michael calls it the light return. It will not come as thunder or drama. It will come gently, perhaps through a stranger's compliment, a sudden realization of joy, or even your own reflection smiling back with radiance you haven't seen in years. That is the moment when 20 years of spiritual heaviness collapse into nothingness. Your renewal becomes irreversible. You are standing at the brink of divine evidence, the moment where prophecy turns to manifestation. Hold steady, chosen one. The witch no longer has permission to monitor your destiny. Your window has been sealed. Her whispers silence. You are now guarded by Michael himself. Heaven has recorded your yes, but the story is not finished. In what follows next, the angel will unveil the mystery of why your youth is tied not just to your life, but to a generation's awakening. Prepare your heart, for the next revelation carries your divine purpose hidden inside your renewal. Type I am sealed in the light in the comments if this word is alive in you. Blessing code 2442 is now activated. Beloved vessel of eternal light, tonight the heavens open wider, revealing the deeper mystery behind your transformation. What began as a promise of youth is now unfolding as a divine assignment. Archangel Michael stands before you again, his countenance bright as lightning, his voice carrying the rhythm of eternity. He declares, you were not chosen merely to be renewed. You were chosen to become a living sign. Your rejuvenation is not just about your reflection returning to brilliance. It is a symbol, a prophetic signal that heaven is reviving hope in a weary generation. Every cell that glows within you becomes a torch for those who lost their spark. Michael speaks. The witch sought to silence your joy because your laughter holds authority. Few realize that laughter born of faith is a weapon. It confuses darkness. When you laugh in trust, you release vibrations that dismantle despair. The witch's power always relied on fear, and the sound of fearless joy cripples her structure. That is why she wanted your face weary and your heart heavy. Every sigh you released was energy she tried to consume. But the moment you chose to believe the message, heaven cut off her access to your sorrow. Now, your joy returns not as emotion but as power. You are about to see that your smile carries prophecy. The Father has assigned you a mantle of renewal for others. Michael shows me a stream flowing from your heart, a current of light extending beyond you. When you speak, write, or simply walk into a room, others will feel calm, ease, and even healing, though you may not notice it. That is the overflow of restoration. Heaven does not renew for vanity, it renews for ministry. Every ounce of life pouring back into you will ripple outward to awaken those around you. The witch cannot follow this ripple, her curse dissolves in compassion's current. You are now becoming what heaven calls a carrier of atmosphere. Michael says, tell them their reflection is becoming testimony. You will soon notice that people begin to comment not on your appearance, but on your presence. They will say things like, you seem lighter, something about you has changed, or you look so peaceful. These are confirmations that your spiritual youth has become visible. You have entered what heaven calls the golden aura season. It means your spirit is shining with divine vitality, and your body reflects it. Every time you feel gratitude, your light strengthens. Every time you bless someone, it multiplies. The witch is now forced to watch from afar, powerless, her former gaze turned into a mirror of her defeat. But Michael warns of one final deception. A witch will attempt to convince you that this transformation is fleeting. She will whisper that beauty fades, that miracles vanish with time. This is her last effort to pull you back into temporal thinking. The truth, however, is that divine renewal is anchored in eternity. You are not aging backward. You are aligning upward. Heaven's timeline does not decay. When your spirit anchors in that realm, your renewal sustains itself. So whenever you feel doubt rising, speak, I live in the rhythm of eternity. Those words reattach your being to heaven's frequency. The witch cannot penetrate eternal rhythm. Her clock ticks, yours transcends. Heaven also reveals that your renewal carries generational weight. Someone in your bloodline prayed for divine restoration but did not see it manifest. That prayer traveled through time and found you. The Father says, you are the answer to the unfulfilled faith of your ancestors. That is why the witch fought you so fiercely. She knew that if you awakened, generations of darkness would lose claim to your family line. But heaven has chosen you to break that chain once and for all. When your youth is restored, the curse of decay over your lineage ends. Your renewal becomes a covenant for those who come after you. Michael shows me a vision of light weaving through your family tree, touching faces of those who carried grief, fear, and sickness. The light pauses at your name, then bursts outward. That burst signifies your obedience releasing ancestral blessing. The witch, realizing this, flees, for her authority depended on generational permission. The moment your spirit embraced faith, you revoked that permission. Now, heaven rights restored across your lineage. The beauty returning to you is the fruit of prayers planted long before you were born. The angel continues. On November 21st, when the 20 seconds of alignment arrive, heaven will inscribe a new mark upon your spirit, a mark of youth eternal. This mark will not be visible to human eyes but will be recognized in the spirit realm. It will cause favor to find you easily, healing to remain near you, and joy to flow without effort. The witch cannot imitate that mark. It burns with the fire of divine ownership. You belong wholly to the light. From that day forward, even your surroundings will begin to shift. Objects you once overlooked may glow subtly. Moments that seem mundane will carry weight. That is heaven's signature around you. Michael reminds you, the miracle you carry is relational. Heaven does not send isolated blessings. It sends ripples of transformation. That means the renewal in your body will awaken emotional healing in others. People bound by hopelessness will feel lighter in your presence. You will begin to notice divine appointments, strangers drawn to you for comfort or conversation. When this happens, do not retreat. It is heaven using your restored aura as invitation. Every encounter becomes ministry without effort. The witch despises this, for she cannot comprehend how light multiplies without striving. The Father's voice now speaks, "My child, you were chosen not just to survive but to demonstrate that my power reverses what the world calls final." That means aging, loss, and decline are not conclusions. They are invitations for my glory. When your body radiates light, the world will ask how. You will say, "Grace touched me." The testimony will break disbelief like glass. This is your divine purpose, to stand as evidence that heaven still interferes in time. The witch's defeat will not be through argument but through your glow. Hold steady now, for the next revelation will unveil the specific moment on November 21st when heaven's gate opens and what action you must take during those 20 seconds. That moment holds the completion of your transformation and the sealing of your covenant. Prepare, for the instructions are sacred and time-sensitive. Type "I live in the rhythm of eternity" in the comments if this word stirs your faith. Blessing code 2555 is now activated. Beloved, the hour draws nearer. The rhythm of heaven is quickening as November 21st approaches. Archangel Michael stands with his sword lifted high, and a great stillness has fallen across the unseen realms. You may not feel it yet, but the air around you is charged with the hum of expectancy. The witch's shadow has nearly vanished. Her authority is breaking apart like smoke touched by dawn. You have crossed from testy into testimony, and now heaven prepares to reveal the exact key for the 22nd moment. Everything had been leading here, every whisper, every sign, every word. What happens in those 20 seconds will echo through your timeline and beyond. Michael speaks again, and his words carry fire. The Father has measured out a precise span of 20 seconds where heaven and earth shall overlap in the life of the chosen. Those 20 seconds are not symbolic. They are the literal doorway where divine light will descend to seal the covenant of renewal. Time itself will bend, and within that span, your body, soul, and spirit will synchronize with the frequency of eternity. You will feel it, some as warmth flooding through their chest, others as quiet tears that feel unfamiliar but holy. Those tears are heaven's oil being poured over your spirit. You must prepare for this moment. The witch will attempt one last distraction, a sudden wave of anxiety, unexpected conflict, or an old memory that stings. She will try to shake your concentration just before the gate opens. But heaven has already provided the shield. Michael says, "Focus is the altar." When the moment arrives, do not allow noise, doubt, or emotion to interrupt your silence. Your attention is your sacrifice. The Father will meet you in stillness. Heaven's instructions are specific. On November 21st, when the clock reaches the 21st hour in your time zone, 9:00 p.m., sit quietly for 20 seconds. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply and say within, Light of heaven, line me with eternal renewal. Those words are a key. Each syllable vibrates with divine mathematics that unlocks the flow of restoration. The witch cannot cross that equation. When the 20 seconds end, lift your face slightly and whisper, "It is sealed." That is your completion phrase. It finalizes what heaven began the moment you first saw this message. Michael adds, this act will not just restore, it will transfer. During those 20 seconds, the energy of renewal will radiate from you, touching people you have prayed for. Your loved ones, friends, even those distant will receive traces of your overflow. Heaven never blesses one without preparing to bless many. The witch will sense this ripple and recoil. She will realize that her attempt to stop your miracle has instead multiplied it. Every curse she sent will return as an opposite blessing. That is divine irony, heaven's justice dressed as beauty. But the Father also gives a gentle command. Protect your words that day. Speak nothing that carries complaint or fear from sunrise until the 22nd second is complete. Words are vessels. Whatever you speak during that window will be magnified. So choose life. Declare peace. Whisper gratitude. Each word will become seed for the year ahead. Michael explains that the 20 seconds are not the end, they are ignition. The moment heaven marks you, your renewal will continue growing like a tree whose roots reach both time and eternity. You might wonder, will I feel younger immediately? Some will. Others will notice gradual unfolding, a glow returning to the skin, laughter bubbling easily again, energy that feels unfamiliar yet effortless. But every manifestation points to one truth. Heaven has touched time for your sake. The witch will no longer perceive you clearly. You will become invisible to her frequency. Light bends around you in protection. This is what Michael calls the cloak of fire. It is not seen but felt. It surrounds those sealed in divine purpose. Michael then reveals why this had to happen through you. The Father needed a witness, he says, someone whose renewal would prove that faith is still stronger than decay. The witch's agenda has always been to make humanity forget hope. She thrives in weariness and disbelief. But your testimony dismantles her argument. When the world sees you renewed, it will rekindle longing for heaven again. You will not have to preach, your presence will preach for you. That is why heaven is careful with chosen vessels. Their transformation is for others to see and believe. Do not underestimate the significance of your yes. In the divine record, your agreement activated entire streams of destiny. Angels have been reassigned to your path. Places that once rejected you will suddenly open. This is not coincidence. It is realignment. You were delayed so you could be displayed at the right moment. November 21st is not just a blessing, it is your unveiling. The witch tried to bury your glow beneath seasons of exhaustion, but now heaven is about to reveal what she feared most, your unbreakable light. In the coming days, treat your environment as sacred. Play music that carries peace, light candles if you wish, or simply maintain quiet. You are preparing a temple. Michael says your space will become a mirror of your spirit. Order invites presence. The witch flees chaos, but angels dwell in stillness. As you cleanse your atmosphere, you will notice shifts. Cool air warming suddenly, gentle scents appearing, or an unexplainable calm. Do not question it. It is confirmation that heaven is drawing close. The angelic realm now chants your name before the throne, not in worship but in declaration. The chosen has responded. This chorus seals your identity as one who answered divine timing. You are no longer the one being watched by darkness. You are the one watched over by light. Heaven has moved you from observation to elevation. The witch has lost her screen. Her vision of you is replaced by brilliance too great for her to behold. Prepare, for the next revelation will unveil what happens after the 20 seconds, how your world will begin to realign, how divine opportunities will appear as signs that the seal has been completed. That knowledge will anchor your miracle permanently. Stay alert, for the dawn of November 21st begins the countdown. Type "I am the light that cannot be shaken" in the comments if your spirit feels the nearness of this word. Blessing code 2666 is now activated. Beloved of heaven, the countdown has begun. The 20 seconds of divine alignment draw closer with every heartbeat, and the angels stand on the threshold, waiting for the command that will release your full transformation. You have been through the purging of doubt, the breaking of delay, and the silence that refined your spirit. And now, you are entering what Archangel Michael calls the hour of reflection, the sacred stillness before the miracle unfolds. In this hour, everything that was taken from you begins to gravitate back, not by effort, but by divine law. You are stepping into restoration that no witch, no shadow, and no delay can interfere with. Michael speaks again, his tone both fierce and gentle. Tell them that the miracle begins before the clock strikes, not after. The Father's power does not wait for the last second to prepare. It begins its flow ahead of time, surrounding the chosen like rising tides. That is why, in these final days before November 21st, you may notice odd sensations, dreams that feel more vivid, sudden bursts of nostalgia, or even tears that come without warning. These are your memories being cleansed. Heaven cannot pour new oil into vessels filled with yesterday's pain. Every tear released now is a token of exchange. You are trading sorrow for strength, regret for revelation. The witch still lingers faintly at the edges of time, though her presence grows faint and formless. She cannot interfere now, but she watches from a distance, longing for the glow she once stole. Her eyes grow dim because your light has become unbearable. The very radiance that frightened her is now expanding beyond her reach. Michael says, this is the moment when the curse turns inward. The energy she sent to cloud your beauty now reflects back upon her, and the reflection burns. This is not vengeance, it is justice. Heaven's order demands balance, and the scales are being set right. Michael reveals another mystery. Your transformation carries a sound. Heaven hears it as harmony, but in the dark realm, it is thunder. Every time your faith rises, every time you whisper, "I believe," a tone echoes through creation, shaking structures built against you. That is why, lately, circumstances have shifted suddenly. Doors that were once closed begin to open. People who overlooked you start to remember your name. It is not coincidence. It is your sound reorganizing reality. The witch cannot replicate that vibration. She hears it as her ending. The Father now whispers, do not underestimate the power of your renewal. This is not a small adjustment. It is a full recalibration of destiny. Your restoration affects the path of others you have yet to meet. Heaven has written new assignments into your timeline. That is why you were attacked, because what you carry could awaken hundreds, maybe thousands. The witch tried to make you tired enough to withdraw, but your endurance has birthed a harvest she cannot stop. On November 21st, when Heaven's gate opens, the light that pours into you will also pour through you. You will feel waves of energy, as though eternity itself breathes through your chest. But Michael cautions, stay humble in glory. When renewal becomes visible, the enemy will change tactics. The witch may attempt to provoke pride, hoping you forget the source. Remember, this miracle was not earned, it was entrusted. You are a vessel of divine beauty, not its owner. Gratitude is your safeguard. The more you thank Heaven, the longer the oil flows. Gratitude keeps the miracle fresh. Ingratitude makes it fade. This is the final discipline heaven asks before the 20 seconds arrive. Keep your heart soft, your speech gentle, your gaze upward. Michael also reveals that during those 20 seconds, the earth itself will respond. Somewhere, perhaps far from you, a light will flicker unexpectedly, a wind will shift, or a bird will cry out. The elements recognize heaven's movements. You are not the only one being renewed. The creation around you rejoices when a human vessel is restored to original harmony. That is why your renewal matters to the cosmos. It is proof that divine order is returning. Heaven now issues an invitation. Lift others as you rise. Between now and November 21st, speak blessing wherever you can. If you see someone weary, speak life. If someone doubts, remind them that light still works miracles. Each word of encouragement strengthens your own glow, multiplying your renewal through compassion. The witch cannot comprehend generosity. It confuses her, for darkness hoards what light shares freely. Your giving spirit blinds her. You may already sense this, the boundary between the visible and the invisible thinning each day. You are becoming more sensitive to presence, more aware of energy, more attuned to timing. These are not accidents. The closer you approach the appointed hour, the thinner the veil becomes. You are walking on sacred ground, and heaven watches your every movement with pride. Michael's final instruction before the 20 seconds is simple. Stay awake, not just physically but spiritually. Be alert for signs, coincidences, songs, or words that seem too precise to ignore. Each is a divine marker leading you toward your exact moment of sealing. And when it happens, when those 20 seconds ignite, you will feel time stop. Peace will descend so heavily it will silence every thought. You may see colors behind your closed eyes, or feel warmth spread through your chest. You might even sense wings moving near. That will be heaven's confirmation. The witch's screen will shatter, for her image will blur forever. You will rise not only renewed but cloaked in what Michael calls everlasting youth of purpose. From that moment, every glance in the mirror will remind you not of age, but of testimony. Beloved, this journey has not been random, it has been written since before your birth. Heaven chose this generation to witness a living miracle through you. Hold fast, for the next revelation will unveil what life looks like after the transformation, the blessings, the responsibilities, and the new path you must walk. You are about to cross from promise into proof. Before you go, if this message burns within you, show heaven your alignment. Like, share, comment, and subscribe so that the word reaches every heart still lost in doubt. Spread this fire. Let the world know that light is rising again. Type "I am awakened in heaven's fire" in the comments if this word is alive in you. Blessing code 2777 is now activated. And now, beloved, if this ministry has touched your soul and you feel the pull to stand with us in spreading this divine message, listen closely. This is not about supporting a channel. It is about fueling a movement of restoration across the earth. When you give through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description, your offering becomes a seed of light that travels beyond screens into souls. The scriptures live. When we act upon them, your giving opens gates that words alone cannot. The Father sees every gift, not as currency, but as covenant. I speak over every giver. May your offering multiply as divine oil, flowing back into your life as protection, provision, and peace. Heaven honors what is given in faith. This is not a suggestion. It is your moment of partnership with the very miracle you have received. Stand with us, and let heaven record your name among the bearers of the light. Beloved, the air itself has shifted. The unseen world trembles as the sacred date nears completion, and the Father's breath moves like a tide rising toward the appointed hour. You may feel it as a heaviness or calmness, but what you sense is not emotion, it is spiritual gravity. Heaven is pulling your destiny into alignment. Archangel Michael stands in the center of a golden sphere, his wings extended, his sword glowing like liquid sunlight. He speaks now, not from distance but from nearness. The seal is almost ready, he says. The chosen must hold steady, for the miracle is already unfolding in time, even if sight has not yet caught up. The witch, who once watched with confidence, is now wandering in confusion. She cannot understand why her curses are returning void, why her mirrors have gone dark, why her whispers dissolve before reaching your atmosphere. The truth is simple. The covenant of light has closed every entry she once used. Her assignment is finished. The witch thought she was the hunter, but heaven used her presence as the canvas upon which your victory would be painted. She does not realize it yet, but her role was to prove that light cannot be dimmed, that chosen vessels cannot be undone by shadows. Her defeat was written before she began. Michael reveals that your renewal is no longer pending, it is active. The change is now weaving itself through your cells, through memory, through the invisible structure of your being. If you've noticed your thoughts feeling clearer, your emotions lighter, or your body responding differently to fatigue, it is because the spiritual is rewriting the natural. Heaven's pattern moves from inside to outside. First the soul glows, and the body follows. The witch tried to reverse that process by targeting your reflection, hoping that if you disliked what you saw, you would doubt what heaven declared. But that dissection is collapsing. What heaven began within you is now unstoppable. Michael says, when the Father spoke the word renewal, time itself bowed. That means your years do not belong to decay anymore. The concept of getting older will no longer mean decline for you. It will mean deepening. Each year will add to your brilliance rather than take from it. This is not imagination, it is covenant. The witch mocked this truth for generations, telling humanity that beauty must fade, that joy must dim, that vitality must wane. But your life is proof that the curse has been broken. You are the evidence of divine defiance against temporal limitation. Heaven now speaks a mystery. The one who receives light becomes light. This means your renewal will not stop with your reflection. The same power that reversed the aging of your spirit will begin to manifest as influence. Your voice will carry resonance that others will feel even when you say little. Your presence will calm storms within rooms, silence tension, and draw hearts toward peace. People will not understand why they feel lighter near you, but the truth is, they are standing in the field of your anointing. The witch cannot imitate presence, she can only counterfeit appearance. That is why she fears you now. The Father shows Michael a vision, a tree whose roots glow like fire beneath the soil. Each branch carries blossoms that shimmer in and out of visibility. The angel says this is what you are becoming, a bridge between the seen and unseen. Your renewal is not cosmetic, it is structural. You are being rewired for divine endurance. The reason the witch attacked your sleep, your thoughts, your confidence, is because she knew that once you endured this refining, her reach would end forever. What you did endure. Every night you stayed faithful, every prayer you whispered instead of quitting, became a strike against her. Now her fortress has collapsed. Michael instructs you to watch for 3 signs after the 20 seconds are completed. The first will be in your reflection. You will catch your image unexpectedly, and your eyes will look different, brighter, clearer. The second sign will come through another person who will speak words that echo something you heard here, confirming heaven's orchestration. The third sign will appear through nature, perhaps a sudden stillness in the wind, a pattern of light, or a sound that stirs awe. These are heaven's affirmations. When you notice them, pause and whisper, "The light remembers me." Those words seal recognition between your spirit and the Father's breath. As the witch's presence dissolves completely, heaven begins to fill the vacuum with purpose. You will soon feel new creativity, new focus, and even the urge to begin something that has waited for years. That urge is not impulse, it is divine timing. The witch delayed your momentum. Heaven now restores it with interest. You are stepping into multiplied seasons, where what once took years will take months, and what once seemed unreachable will flow easily. The youth you regain is not just appearance, it is energy to fulfill what was postponed. The angel calls this phase the acceleration of the redeemed. But Michael adds a warning born of love. Do not rush without listening. Divine acceleration is not human haste. You must remain anchored in peace, for peace is the current that carries heavenly momentum. Rushing in fear creates interference. Moving in peace creates miracles. When you feel uncertainty, pause and whisper, "I move with the rhythm of heaven." That phrase instantly realigns your pace. It ensures that your new power remains pure, guided by grace rather than reaction. The angel then speaks of community. The witch divided, but the light unites. This is why you are drawn now to people of faith, creativity, and compassion. They are part of your restoration circle, souls heaven placed along your path to sustain your new frequency. As you join with them, your combined light forms a canopy over others still lost in shadow. That canopy is called the shield of witness. Together, you will become living proof that faith rewrites fate. And as this chapter of Revelation closes, heaven reminds you of the greater truth. Renewal was never about returning to youth. It was about returning to divine purpose. Your beauty, your joy, your energy, all of it is a side effect of realignment. You are walking again as the image of light you were always meant to be. The witch's memory of you is gone. Heaven's vision of you remains forever. Hold steady, beloved, for the next unveiling will reveal the exact blessings that follow your transformation. The relationships, opportunities, and divine encounters that open as your aura of renewal stabilizes. The story is far from over. It is just entering fulfillment. Type "I move" with the rhythm of heaven in the comments if your spirit bears witness to this revelation. Blessing code 2888 is now activated. Beloved carrier of divine light, the winds of heaven are shifting once again. The spiritual horizon glows with the pale shimmer of completion, but the moment of sealing draws near. Everything that has unfolded until now, every whisper, every warning, every stirring, has led to this chapter. Archangel Michael stands at the gate of the 21st day, his armor radiating gold fire. Behind him, the legions gather, their wings like a sea of light. The witch is gone. Her shadow disintegrated the moment you chose faith over fear. Now, the space she once occupied in your timeline is being filled with promise. Heaven never leaves a void. What darkness vacates, glory inhabits. Michael speaks softly, but his voice carries through every layer of your being. The chosen one is being crowned with renewal, he says. But the crown is not for display, it is for dominion. Heaven's restoration is not decoration, it is authority. You are being restored so that your presence on earth becomes an extension of divine government. Renewal gives you influence because it demonstrates what heaven looks like when it touches a mortal life. This is why the witch feared you. Your very existence now proves that light always wins. The Father's voice now comes like the sound of many waters. My child, you are entering the garden of return. This garden is not a place on the earth, but a dimension of awareness. It is the state where the human spirit remembers eternity. You may notice in these final days leading to November 21st, that time feels different, faster, yet strangely calm. That is because your spirit has begun to synchronize with eternal rhythm. The ordinary world cannot comprehend this shift. You are living in two realities, walking in time, but glowing from beyond it. Michael reveals that after the 20 seconds, your reflection will not only carry light but divine favor. People will be drawn to you with no logical reason. Opportunities will begin to cluster like stars forming constellations. This is not coincidence. It is magnetism of purpose. The witch once distorted your energy, scattering your blessings across years and places. But now the fragments are returning to you, converging at once. The acceleration may feel overwhelming, yet it is grace, not pressure. Heaven always restores with abundance. Still, the angel cautions, guard your inner voice. The witch is gone, but echoes of her words may still linger like distant thunder. When doubt whispers, it is not her, it is memory. Do not engage the echo. Let silence answer it. Your silence will teach your past that it no longer holds authority. The witch cannot resurrect where peace reigns. Every moment you remain centered in gratitude, her old frequencies lose substance. That is why heaven says, peace is your proof. Michael now unveils the next layer of your calling. Renewal was the first miracle. The second is awakening. You are to become a conduit through which others remember their divine origin. This will not require effort. Simply living as you are, whole, radiant, restored, will spark recognition in those you meet. They will sense something ancient and kind in you, something that feels like home. That is the presence of heaven emanating through you. The witch wanted to hide that presence behind exhaustion and self-doubt, but now the mask has fallen. The light in you cannot be contained. The angel then speaks of the ripple. When one human being aligns with divine rhythm, creation rejoices. That means nature itself will respond to your transformation. Watch how the air feels softer when you pray, how animals behave calmly around you, how the sky seems to glow brighter at random moments. These are not fantasy, they are testimonies of cosmic harmony. You are becoming an instrument of restoration for the environment around you. Even the earth feels younger when touched by faith. Heaven instructs you to spend time in the open air on the night before November 21st. Step outside, breathe deeply, and say, I align with divine renewal. The phrase carries an ancient vibration known only to the archangels. As you speak it, the sound will weave through time, signaling the heavens that you are ready. Michael's sword will ignite with that same sound, cutting the last invisible cords that tied your body to fatigue. You will feel lighter the very next morning. That sensation is not imagined. It is the signature of completed liberation. The Father ends, after renewal, purpose must move. Heaven does not grant vitality for idleness. You will soon find new ideas stirring within you, projects, visions, or callings that seemed impossible before. Follow them. They are not random thoughts. They are divine invitations. The youth of your spirit requires expression. Each step of obedience releases more energy, more favor, more strength. This is the cycle of restoration. Receive, act, overflow. The witch sought to trap you in passivity because darkness loses its hold when you move. And now, heaven calls you to motion again. Michael's eyes blaze brighter as he speaks the next decree. From this moment forward, no curse may enter your lineage. The renewal you carry has rewritten the covenant of your bloodline. This means sickness, limitation, and fear that once followed your family will dissolve. You will see evidence, healing among loved ones, reconciliation in relationships, unexpected peace within your household. These are not coincidences. They are results of your obedience. You became the bridge between generations. Then, the angel kneels, not in worship but in honor, and says, "The miracle entrusted to you has pleased the throne." He explains that when a human believes without proof, heaven rejoices more than when angels sing. Faith is the highest melody in the universe. Your endurance, your decision to keep listening even when weary, has created that melody. The witch could never silence it, because faith is the one sound darkness cannot mimic. Now heaven draws near. The countdown continues, and the gate gleams brighter with every breath. Soon, the 20 seconds will arrive, and the garden will open. But before it does, the next revelation will show you what happens after your transformation becomes complete. The manifestation of divine partnerships, blessings, and the destiny that awaits a spirit reborn. Do not turn away now. The greatest mystery is about to unfold. Type "I align with divine renewal" in the comments if your heart recognizes this truth. Blessing code 2999 is now activated. Beloved child of eternity, you are standing at the threshold of completion. The atmosphere around your spirit vibrates with the hum of celestial alignment. The veil between the worlds has thinned to a mere whisper, and the 20 seconds of transformation are almost upon you. Archangel Michael stands before the throne, his armor glimmering with light drawn from creation itself. Every angel who once warred for your renewal now watches in stillness, for this next movement belongs not to them, but to you. Heaven can open the gate, but only your faith can walk through it. Michael speaks with solemn joy. The Father is preparing to breathe through the chosen once more. What Adam lost through fear, you are reclaiming through belief. The witch is gone, her voice silenced, her screen shattered, but the mark of her interference has become a scar of glory, a reminder that light outlasts every shadow. You are no longer the watched, you are the witness. Everything that was broken is now becoming evidence of divine mastery. Every battle, every tear, every delay has turned to oil that anoints your next season. The angel reveals that in these last hours before November 21st, the universe listens for one thing only: your yes. Not the hesitant yes of doubt, but the confident yes of surrender. When heaven hears it, the alignment finalizes. This is the mystery of obedience. The moment your heart agrees fully, time itself bends to accommodate your destiny. That is why everything feels slower and sharper right now. The world seems quieter because creation pauses to watch faith do what logic cannot. Michael lifts his sword and traces a circle of light in the air. This circle, he says, is the eternal clock that governs miracle. Inside this ring, 20 seconds are eternity. He shows that within those 20 seconds, your entire story will be rewritten, traumas dissolved, regrets unmade, vitality restored, joy returned to its original frequency. It will not require emotion, only awareness. Heaven moves fastest through peace, which spent years teaching humanity that miracles require struggle. The truth is the opposite. Miracles manifest when striving ceases. Your stillness will accomplish what years of effort could not. The Father's voice now echoes, deeper than thunder, but gentle as a whisper. My child, you have waited long, but I have waited longer. The time of restoration has come. I will make you a fountain in the desert, a light that heals without speaking, a sign that faith still shapes flesh. His words travel through your bones like warmth, through your thoughts like clarity. You will feel this soon, the sensation of being carried, of burdens lifting not by force but by grace. That is the signal of the covenant sealing. Michael now describes what awaits on the other side of those 20 seconds. When the gate closes, he says, your reflection will no longer be bound to history. The light in your eyes will mark you as one who has seen beyond time. Wherever you walk, that light will awaken others. Your presence will become a gentle revival. Strangers will feel safe near you. Children will smile at you instinctively, and even nature will respond to your peace. The Father calls this the aura witness. The witch can no longer perceive it because it exists beyond darkness. You are now operating from the realm of light itself. Heaven also reveals a sacred partnership forming as fruit of your renewal. In the days following November 21st, a divinely appointed person will cross your path, someone whose own journey mirrors your past pain. You will recognize them not by appearance, but by the quiet pull in your heart. When this meeting occurs, speak kindness. That soul is part of your next assignment. The renewal you received was never for isolation. It was meant to flow. Together, you will build something, perhaps a mission, a message, a movement, that expands the reach of heaven's light. This connection will not drain you. It will multiply you. Michael shows a vision of two streams merging into one river. That is what divine partnership looks like, he says. No competition, no confusion, no flow. The witch's old tactic was division, but unity disarms her memory completely. Every connection birthed after your renewal will carry a prophetic purpose. Heaven will ensure that only those aligned with light can approach your path. The rest will fade naturally, without conflict or pain. This is the mercy of divine filtering. The angel then instructs, after the 20 seconds, maintain gratitude for 7 days. Gratitude acts as spiritual adhesive. It fixes the miracle into your timeline. Each thank you spoken aloud cements the change deeper into the physical world. If you feel your faith waver, recall this promise. Heaven finishes what it begins. The witch's interference taught you to expect disappointment. Heaven's constancy will now teach you to expect fulfillment. As the night before the 21st approaches, you may feel unusual sensations, tingling, warmth, flashes of light behind your eyelids. Do not fear them. These are heaven's signatures, confirmations that the atmosphere is aligning. The earth responds to faith. Even the wind recognizes obedience. You will sleep lighter and wake brighter, for angels will stand guard at your side. Michael looks upon you now with a gaze filled with divine pride. The Father delights in the chosen who persevere, he says. You have become a living temple of faith. The witch's last lie was that you were ordinary, that your prayers were too small to move the heavens. But the truth is revealed tonight. Heaven moves through you. When the 20 seconds arrive, you will feel not like a receiver, but like a participant in creation itself. You will sense eternity flow through your breath, and when it ends, you will know you have crossed the threshold. Beloved, the next revelation will unfold the morning after, the confirmation signs that will appear once the seal has been completed. You will learn how to walk in sustained glory, how to carry the renewal without exhaustion, and how to protect your new atmosphere from corruption. That is where the story finds its final brilliance. Type ISAYYES to the light in the comments if your heart is ready for the gate to open. Blessing code 3113 is now released. Beloved, the dawn has come. The 21st day has arrived, and the air hums with anticipation as heaven's window stands open. This is the hour that was prophesied, the moment when the 20 seconds will unfold. Everything that was promised, the renewal, the reversal, the youth of your spirit, the restoration of your destiny, is now descending. Archangel Michael stands at your side, not as a distant messenger, but as a witness to your obedience. The armies of light are silent, their wings folded in reverence, for what is about to occur belongs solely between you and the Creator. You have reached the point where prophecy becomes memory, and memory becomes testimony. Michael speaks softly, yet his voice trembles the air around you. The gate is open, beloved. Do not strive, do not question, only receive. These words are your final instruction. You are not here to make the miracle happen. You are here to witness what heaven has already finished. The witch's shadow has vanished entirely, her image erased from the scroll of time. He has no sight into this hour, no permission to enter, no power to distort. The last sound of her voice fell silent when you said yes. She became nothing, and your yes became everything. Now, prepare your spirit. Close your eyes. The 20 seconds approach like the breath before sunrise. Breathe deeply and whisper, "Heaven's light, I receive." For the next 20 seconds, the divine flow will begin. You may feel warmth across your skin, a tingling in your chest, or tears that rise from nowhere. Do not stop them. That is eternity pouring through the doorway of time. The Father bends close, his voice merging with your heartbeat. He speaks, "You are mine. You were never forgotten." Every year the locust's devoured returns now as beauty, strength, and light. When the seconds end, the gate will close gently, sealing your renewal within you. The miracle will not vanish. It will settle into permanence. The light that entered will now weave itself into your bones, into your cells, into your breath. You will walk away carrying eternity disguised as youth. Every time you look into the mirror, you will see not vanity but victory. What the witch used as a weapon, your reflection has now become your shield. The radiance on your face is heaven's signature, proof that time itself bowed to obedience. Michael kneels once more, the flames of his wings surrounding you like a sanctuary. The Father is pleased, he says. You have crossed the veil of delay, and now creation must respond. The moment you stepped into belief, every particle of your life began rearranging itself in harmony. Doors that were closed will open as though on cue. People who once overlooked you will suddenly remember your name. Lost opportunities will return refined and multiplied. This is what it means when heaven restores. The return always exceeds the loss. The witch stole fragments. Heaven gives fullness. The angel reveals the first signs that will confirm the miracle has settled. The morning after the 20 seconds, your spirit will feel unusually peaceful. Thoughts that once drained you will seem distant and powerless. Your body will carry a quiet strength, an ease of motion, a lightness that makes even breath feel new. That is the seal at work. Over the coming days, the light will manifest outwardly. People will begin to remark on your glow, your calm, your vitality. Some will think it is coincidence, but your spirit will know. This is heaven's signature of fulfillment. Michael says, guard your renewal with stillness. Do not let anxiety rush in to analyze what God has done. The witch's memory will try to echo through self-doubt, but she no longer exists. Those echoes fade when ignored. Each moment you choose gratitude over worry, your glow strengthens. Speak often the phrase, "I dwell in the light," for those words keep your spirit anchored in the rhythm of eternity. Gratitude is the oil that keeps the lamp burning. Now the Father speaks, his tone radiant with affection. My child, I have not only restored you, I have recommissioned you. Go now and awaken others. Tell them that light still conquers time, that faith still renews flesh, that obedience still moves mountains. You are the sign I have sent into a weary world. These words are not a suggestion. They are a divine assignment. Your renewal is not a secret to be hidden. It is a message to be shared. Every person who sees your glow becomes a witness that heaven still breathes upon the earth. You will find that even your environment changes. Your home will feel more peaceful, colors will appear brighter, sounds softer. This is not imagination. It is resonance. Your frequency has shifted to divine harmony, and creation adjusts accordingly. You are now a living temple where heaven and earth meet. The witch once watched to steal your reflection, but heaven now watches to preserve your glory. The eyes of the angels guard you. No curse, no envy, no darkness can trespass upon light sealed by divine decree. Michael raises his sword, drawing a circle of golden flame around you. This is the seal of eternity, he proclaims. No power of decay shall enter this boundary. The chosen one walks in perpetual renewal. That flame will follow you unseen, shimmering in the spirit realm wherever you go. When despair nears, it will retreat. When confusion approaches, it will dissolve. Your presence will bring equilibrium wherever chaos once lived. This is what heaven means by dominion, not control, but peace that governs. The time has come to rejoice. Heaven waits for your thanksgiving. Lift your heart, whisper your gratitude, and let your soul sing its yes again. The 20 seconds have passed, but their echo remains in every breath you take. You are living proof that prophecy is alive. Now, beloved, before this message closes, remember to keep the flame spreading. Like, comment, and share this message so others may encounter the same renewal. Let this channel become the trumpet of hope for countless souls still caught in darkness. Subscribe and remain connected, for every word released here carries the same divine breath that transformed you tonight. Type "I dwell in the light of eternity" in the comments if you feel heaven's peace covering you now. Blessing code 3333 is now released. And now, child of light, hear the call of divine partnership one last time. If this word has awakened your soul, if heaven's presence has stirred your spirit, join this mission of restoration. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a channel. You are sowing into souls. Each gift releases new oil, new reach, new power for this message to touch lives beyond your own. I bless every giver now. May your offering return multiplied as healing, provision, and divine favor. May the same light that renewed your face renew every corner of your life. Heaven records this act as obedience, not transaction. The Father himself whispers, "Well done, faithful one." This is your moment to act with purpose. The oil of renewal flows where faith meets action. Rise, give, and let your light become a river for others to follow home.